All right, folks, from the shores of the Great Slave Lake right here in scenic, frosty, and frigid Yellowknife Northwest Territories, Canada. More north than north, I've been saying lately. But through the wonders of the internet and cell phones, I am able to speak to my good friend Phil Collen of Def Leppard fame. How are you doing, man?
Wonderful, thanks. I'm quite a bit further down the road on the same coastline, but I'm in LA traffic as we're talking.
Oh my!
My view's probably not as nice as yours.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here looking out at the snow and the icicles here in northern Canada, and it's minus 31 degrees Celsius outside. So I'm glad I'm inside. So there's that.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, it's 73 degrees here, but there's a Mustang in front of me and about a million trucks on the other lane. So yeah. I'd rather be there.
Yeah. Well, I can well imagine. Well, speaking of traveling, though, I mean, you guys are gearing up to, get out on tour starting April 8th in New Hampshire. Sounds like a fun time. And I know you guys are really positive about your whole band experience, like you've been a band for a long time. So, I mean, it's cool that, you would be looking forward to a multi-date tour.
Well, when I first started playing guitar, the dream was to play in front of people. And the fact that we actually get to do it, I'll be 60 this year, and I feel like I'm 25, and I still get to play in front of all these people. It's a dream. It's a joy. It's like I don't understand when some bands are going, it's so tiring and exhausting. Yeah, it is, but it's so cool. Are you kidding? We get to do this. It's amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, apart from the fans, like what's, as a working and touring band, I mean, what's something that you really look forward to?
Well, I think, a lot of the time we've been playing the same venues for 30-something years. And that's so you look forward to going as a tourist to these different cities, I love Vancouver, love Victoria, when we're out, on the West Coast. It's just amazing. I just like being there. So it's great to just travel. I mean, I just really, you can learn so much from traveling. It's just that never gets old for me, I've got to say.
How much time do you get in a lot of the cities to do a little bit of exploring at this point in the career of Def Leppard, Phil?
You have to create time. So, I wake up early. I mean, my eyes open pretty much every day, like 6:22. Actually, I thought, what a weird time to wake up. But I looked at the clock, and all of this week it's been 6:22. I wake up, and it seems a shame to waste it if you got that time and you can get out and just have a wander around. Me and my wife Helen, that's what we do. Go and have a coffee, check it out wherever we happen to be. It's really cool.
I see you guys are hitting up Edmonton June 2nd, and I think this is going to be your first opportunity to get out to Rogers Place. So I would imagine you'd be looking forward to that.
I looked at the ticket sales are great as well. We always have a blast there. So we haven't been there for a time, so that's really look forward to that.
So I guess, we talked a little bit about the longevity of the band, and one thing that I know a lot of people are wondering about on this tour is that, as of maybe around 77 or 78, it'll, that's kind of the inception of Def Leppard. So we're looking at like 40 years of Def Leppard here. So, I mean, are you guys doing anything special on this tour at all to commemorate that?
No, I mean, we are going to do something. It's Hysteria's 30-year anniversary, so we're probably going to do something to kind of, celebrate that. It's our biggest selling album, and so we're grateful for that. So, yeah, maybe that one, I think. The 40-year thing, it's not exactly tangible. It's kind of, the guys met on a certain date, Sav and Joe did. So it's, but the first album came out in 1980. So that's really, if we were going to be on Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they actually take it from your first album. So 1980 is the actual date, I think.
So we're still a couple of years away from that big 4-0.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Hysteria because, I mean, there's also a DVD that you've released on February 10th, and I know sort of the last performance DVD that you released was Hysteria, but I think, with this DVD and There Will Be a Next Time live from Detroit, there was a bit of a different strategy there, right? Because, I mean, instead of you documenting several shows under residency, this was like a snapshot of like one show in Detroit, which, I mean, I would imagine that would be a little nerve-wracking, but also pretty cool.
It was different. I mean, and a couple of things, you know, I never get nervous when we're playing or recording or anything, but things go wrong. Things will put you off. Like, for example, we had drone cameras, and, you know, I didn't even know they were going to be there, and all of a sudden you're looking up, you're doing a guitar solo, there's things floating around your head, and so you go, what? So a couple of things like that were different, and the show was great. So there's the odd mistake. I definitely made a few mistakes, which again is really cool. You know, if you're going to do a live thing, it's kind of cool having that stuff in there.
Yeah, well, and there was a reason why you picked Detroit. I mean, I know that was sort of the first sold-out show, but I mean, you know, as well, and, you know, Kiss obviously coined the phrase Detroit Rock City, but I mean, this is pretty, has this sort of been a staple rock city over the years for Def Leppard as well?
I mean, yeah, one of them. I mean, but the reason that we actually chose that was because it was the first date on the tour to sell out.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that actually, it was kind of symbolic. It was like, you know, if you can be that rabid with your ticket sales, then perhaps you'll be that rabid at the night of the show. And they were. They were great. And, you know, Detroit has always been wonderful to us anyway. So, yeah, that was a no-brainer choosing that one.
Yeah. Well, you know, getting back to this tour, though, you guys are coming out with Poison and Tesla, like I said, kicking off April 8th. And, you know, you are, I guess, maybe knee-deep in producing the latest Tesla record.
Absolutely, yeah. We're actually just finishing it off. Actually, I'm this weekend I'm doing a string session. They're doing a strings on one song. A friend of mine's playing killer piano on another song, and we've got like 2 lead vocal verses to do. So the rest of it's almost done. It actually sounds incredible, and the phrase that keeps coming up is sounds like a rock version of Sgt. Pepper. So we're everyone, the band and me, we're just hyper excited about it.
Well, now, you know, I know you guys went to the, you know, school of the great Mutt Lange in terms of production, and I know you've talked about, you know, that in terms of the Mutt Lange produced albums, like Hysteria, of course, being, you know, the most famous one, quote unquote. But what Mutt Langeisms do you bring to, you know, Phil Collen, the producer, when you're working with a band like Tesla?
The greatest thing I ever learned from Mutt, I mean, he's the hardest working person I've ever met in my life. You know, he would say, you know, you can be okay, you can be a good band, but if you want to be seriously great, you've got to work a lot harder. And that involves, you know, songwriting, the part of the songs. You're just putting a lot more in than you normally would expect. And I think that was the main thing I learned from Mutt. And it's kind of what we tried to do, certainly on this Tesla album, for sure. You know, it's if you think it's okay, you know, sometimes you just got to, you know, put a lot more into it. And it seems to be turning out fantastic because of that kind of approach, really. So, yeah, we thank Mutt. Absolutely.
Now I know you guys go way back with Tesla, and you've toured with them before. So, I mean, you know, I'm sure if I were to ask you, like, you know, hey, how is it to work with Tesla? You know, probably heap praises on them. But I mean, you know, what's one of the things that's maybe a little bit more challenging when it comes to working with Tesla?
Well, they are a killer live band, and you know, we hadn't played with them for a while. About 2 years ago, you know, I just went up to her. I said, guys, you're amazing. This is such an amazing live band. Mm-hmm. And their songs are great. Everyone performs it. Like the playing is killer on this album as well. You know, the guitar playing, everything. You know, just the whole performance thing. But like I said, you know, I still think that their best work is yet to come. I think, you know, from a songwriting point of view, on this record, we pulled out all of their influences. You know, like everything from the Beatles to the Stones to Zeppelin to Queen. You know, we actually kind of hit all of those influences, and I think that was really good because it made the album really diverse. It's not just one-dimensional, and it's not just like finishing it off. It's actually making the songs better, really, really going out there and kind of just being strong with the whole performance and songwriting thing. Mm-hmm. It really has been making a difference. So everyone's been really okay with working that extra bit of just really hard. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Well, now speaking of live performances, your other one of your other projects, Delta Deep, you're getting ready to release a live album, and I think everything is in the can and ready to go. So what can we expect there in terms of release date and even just some of the songs that might be included on the album itself, Phil?
We recorded it last year, actually. We had it in the can. We were trying to get it out for the end of this year, and last year, sorry. But that didn't happen, just the way things turn out. So, it's a lot of the stuff from the first album, obviously, and if anyone's seen us live, we do the odd Zeppelin song, and Debbie Blackwell Cook's got the most amazing voice. She kind of sounds like a Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin style, and if you can imagine that, with this kind of hard rock kind of approach, it's pretty amazing. So we're actually about to start work on our second studio album as well. Nice. So I don't get any time off really. It's just like constantly busy, but I love it. It's pretty exciting.
Well, that's what I was going to say is, keeping yourself busy is, it's probably a good thing. When you come off tour, you got something more to do and something to look forward to.
Absolutely. And actually, even when we're on tour, like the Tesla album, we've actually been recording a lot of that while we've been out there on tour. So, that's the way to go, I think. Even with the Delta Deep stuff, I'll be writing on tour, recording the odd bit of guitar here and there. So it's just non-stop. But like I said, exciting. I love doing it.
I guess, the other operative question is the self-titled Def Leppard album came out in 2015. So, to a certain extent, the paint's not dry on that one. But, are you guys working on any new material? Are you writing or, are things sort of on the shelf in terms of that right now?
Yeah, I'm always writing. That's the great thing about, just being a musician, I guess. You constantly, coming up with new songs and that. So, I never really go, well, this is a Def Leppard song. I just write, and it kind of it turns out later on, and you go, okay, this would be great for Def Leppard. So, constantly writing all the time.
So is there anything maybe that might, surface in the Def Leppard camp anytime soon, a single, an EP, or is it just too soon to tell?
It's a bit soon to say that, but yeah, for sure. We are going to be, working for something for next year, obviously. Yeah. This year's kind of done as far as recording for Def Leppard goes, because we're just gearing up to start rehearsals, really. But, other than that, it'll be next year for any new Def Leppard material.
Right on, man. Well, Phil, it's always a pleasure and an honor to be able to chat with you here on Do You Know Jack radio show. And like I said, the tour with Poison and Tesla kicks off April 8th, and then, we've got some Canadian dates in there, April 10th in Montreal at the Bell Centre, and Edmonton, June 2nd in the brand spanking new Rogers Place, and then the next day in Calgary, June 3rd at the Saddle Dome. And, check the Def Leppard website or Facebook page for the full slate of dates, because there's a lot, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are just chomping at the bit to get out there and see some Leppard.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Right on, man. Well, thanks again for your time, good sir, and, looking forward already to the next time we get to do this, man. It's, like I said, it's a pleasure.
Brilliant. Thank you.
All right.
It's my pleasure as well. Love it. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.